Most women don't want to date a man that's wearing hot pink nail polish.
Maybe not 10 years ago.
What I'm saying is most women do not, even now. Or a man that sits, or a man that comes in and sits like you know, a little more like a
I got things. Okay, I'm a hold on. So you're more concerned about who he's able to attract than him living the life he wants to live and being happy in his own skin.
As a child, it's my job to guide a child a certain way.
To what?
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. We got tonight's conversation. And the question is, is it your job as a parent to stop your boy from wearing nail polish? And I'm pretty sure it goes the same way for women. As a parent, is it your job to police your daughter, right? But the main one is it your job to police your sons from wearing nail polish? And I say as a parent, it is. It has to be. That is your job, right? Because your kids don't know any better. So why is it that we sit up here and we fight for our children, we defend our children, we try to make sure our children don't go down a bad route, right? But then when you have them sitting over here going down this route, we're just supposed to sit down and just be quiet and just allow it to happen because this is who they really are. It makes no sense to me. But before we get into that, man, do me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, and leave me a subscribe. So you got this brother here, Ace Metaphor. All right, this is why a lot of your men today aren't as masculine as they used to be. Why? Because we have people like your boy Ace Metaphor who believe you should continue to allow your child to live a certain lifestyle that isn't conducive, that isn't right. We're just gonna call it for what it is, right? We're just gonna call it for what it is. We need more masculine men. We need more masculine men, period, right? We need to stop allowing little boys to grow up and thinking it's okay to be a female. We have far too many men that are like that. We have far too many little boys that are like that, right? And we sitting up here getting upset when people or parents saying, no, we need more masculine little boys. We need more masculine little boys. We're living in a society where it's okay to let your son wear nail polish. It's okay to let your son wear a purse. It's okay to let your son wear a dress. And we're still going to say these are masculine men. That makes no sense to me. That does not make any sense to me. But let's see what we're talking about here. Let's see what we're dealing with here.
Most women don't want to date a man that's wearing hot pink nail polish.
Maybe not 10 years ago.
What I'm saying is most women do not, even now.
She said maybe not 10 years ago. But because times have changed, you think, well, you know what? Hey, we should allow that to happen now. Well, you know what? We should open up doors for that. We should have room for men to be able to wear, you know, fingernail polish and this, that, and the third, and still date, and still get a girlfriend, and still be considered a masculine man. No. And this is what I'm saying. This is what society is out here trying to teach little boys. And teach little girls. Little girls, it's okay to sit over here and, you know, wear what you want to wear and expect every man to respect you the same way. Hey, little boys, it's okay to sit over here and wear nail polish and wear a dress and a purse and think men are just going to respect you. We having women like this who think shit like that is okay. Stop it. The only people in this world that thinks it's okay for a man to wear fingernail polish are women and dudes who swing the other way. Period. You want to call them bisexuals, fine. You can say that, but I'm leave it at that.
Or a man that sits, or a man that comes in and sits like you know, a little more like a.
I got things. Okay, I'm a hold on. So you're more concerned about who he's able to attract than him living the life he wants to live and being happy in his own skin.
As a child, it's my job to guide a child a certain way.
To what?
Into who he is and to who he was born.
It's his job to guide him into being a good man, into being a masculine man. See, it didn't back in the day. It wasn't, well, let me guide my child into to being a masculine, good man. It was, let me guide my child into being a good man, into being the best version of himself, which is a man. It is my job to guide my daughter into being the best woman she can ever be. But now we're sitting in a time where, hey, you need to go ahead and cater to this whatever type of behavior, that this kid think it's okay. This kid thinks he's a girl. You know what? You should continue to fuel that. You should continue to help that behavior. Hey, well, you know what? Johnny, you think you're a girl? Guess what? I'm gonna buy you dresses. I'm gonna buy you dolls. This is what Ace Metaphor is pretty much saying. Continue that behavior. Help him out with that behavior. You need to do what this other guy is saying. As a father, I am here to teach my son how to be a man, right? Men do not wear nail polish. Men do not wear purses. Men do not wear dresses, right? But we have somebody like Ace Metaphor here who believes, hey, well, you know what? If this man feels like he's a woman, if this girl feels like she's a man, you should continue to help that behavior. You should continue to prolong that behavior, right? Instead of saying, no, son, you're a man, right? You're a boy. You're a boy. You need to change that. You're a boy, right? It's my job to make sure that you become a man because we need more men in the world. I want my son, right? This is my goal. This is what I want. I want my son to be a grown man, to have his own family, to be a leader, right? No kid is going to look at a man wearing fingernail polish and say, yeah, he's a good leader, right? So now what we're doing is we're messing up the definition of a true leader. We're messing up a definition of a true man, right? Because now we have people like Ace Metaphor, who was probably raised by a woman and around a bunch of women who think it's okay for a little boy to act a certain way, to not act like himself, right? I can't sit up here and say, well, you know what? I was born a man, but you know what? I want to act like myself, because I think I'm a woman. That's not acting like yourself. That's not acting like yourself. Y'all have ever seen these memes where it says, don't let your intrusive thoughts win? That's it right there, right? You think you're a woman, you think you're the opposite, but you're not. You're not. And then you, once again, then you want other people to play along with that. You just can't do that. So as a father, as a parent, my job is to make sure, man, I raise a masculine man and I raise a feminine woman. This is just a bad foot to start off on. Now we having certain pronouns and this and that. And it's like, man, what are we doing here?
Heteronormativity.
To what he was born as.
Heteronormativity.
He was born as a man.
Well, let's talk about it.
He was born as a boy. And this is my issue, because now this is only a conversation we have with boys. That now being healthy masculine is a problem. Now we gotta go and try to make it okay for boys.
And guys, I might actually buy it. I might actually buy the podcast and try to see if I can put the video up here. Because like I said, I just don't want to get hit with no community guideline strikes. But I actually might buy the podcast because, like I said, they make some good conversations outside of Ace Metaphor. Catering to these women 24/7 and telling these women what they want to hear. He has some great conversations that need to be talked about, right? Just like this one right here, it needs to be talked about. I might not agree with what he is saying, but once again, I enjoy the fact that he's able to bring out conversations that we all need to talk about. This boy right here feels like he's this way. We should cater to that behavior. No, you should not. You should not. As a parent, it's your job to curb that behavior at a young age. It's your job to curb that behavior at a young age, because as a child, no, children don't know what they really want. Children don't know what they really want to be as a child. I wanted to be a firefighter. I wanted to be a police officer. As I grew up, I got out of that stage, right? We have people like Dwayne Wade and what he got going on over there in his situation. Sad, right? Sad. And Dwayne Wade's baby mother tried to get that kid away from that. But you know what? Hey, now, like I said, I don't approve of any woman taking a kid away from his father, right? But I'm just saying, in that situation, she's trying to do the right thing, whereas Dwayne Wade just trying to cater to that behavior. That's what I mean by catering to that behavior. You know what? Hey, shoot, son, go ahead. You want to go ahead and hop on the stage and do this and do that and wear this and wear that and wear a wig and da. Do it. So where's the guidance, right? How are you going to guide your son? How are you going to guide your children? As a man, As a man, that's what we want. When we have a son, any man can tell you, any straight man can tell you, when they have a son, we hope that our son is like an arrow. I'm gonna just put it that way, and not a donut, but it's an arrow, right? Why? Because we want masculine men. We want a son, right? If I want a son, I'm not sitting here saying y'all want a son who thinks he's a freaking female. No, I do not. No man, no straight man wants that. No man in general wants that. So as a man, it's my job to make sure that my daughter is the most feminine she can be, right? Because I want to raise a feminine woman. We need more women in the world, more feminine women in the world. And you can't be mad at me for trying to raise my son as a man, because that's what we need more in the world, more masculine men, right? We're living in a time where people feel like masculinity is an issue. What? Right? And we're also living in a time where people think femininity is an issue. Well, why do you say that? The fact that we literally have women making up the word "pick me" for other women who are simply saying, "Let me just be. I want to be a feminine woman, right? I want to take care of my man. I want to cater to my man. I want to, be what a woman is supposed to be." It becomes an issue, right? And like I said, you have men such as Ace Metaphor who will sit up here and demonize men and look down upon men who looking at their children and saying, you know what? I need my son to be a man. I need my daughter to be a woman, right? I mean, just look at this video.
What you crying for? I don't think a lot of people understand that as a kid. I got told that so much. You gotta man up. I got in trouble for feeling, for expressing my opinion. I don't know how. I wasn't taught how to love. I was taught how to work, how to provide. I want to be much more than that. I'm much more than a man that provides to need to be marginalized. I'm a person that wants to be loved. I don't have to be macho with you. I don't want a woman that makes me feel like I gotta be at second grade again, being taught not to cry and to feel and to express and to be loved. I want to be hugged. Wasn't hugged enough. I want to be valued for not what I can bring to the table, but for being a beautiful soul like you. I want to be cared for. And I'm not afraid to say it, ladies, your man needs you for much more than just letting him provide for you. He needs you up here. And he gonna fight you every step of the way, because from birth he's been taught that this is the person he's supposed to be. Never let her pick up a check. Never let her plan something. You are the romance. He needs you to tell him, it is okay, babe, I got you. Let me show you that I can be what you need from a mental standpoint, an emotional, a romantic. Let me show you you are appreciated. Quit fighting that. Because we've been fighting it all our lives. If you can't be there for me, past my ability to provide from you, then I don't want it. I want somebody that I can talk to. That's going to pour into me as much as I'm going to pour into her. Somebody that refuses to allow me to refuse her gestures of gratitude, her dates, her paying for it, her gifts. Because I need that secretly. I don't know about a lot of men that's watching right now. But I want to be loved. I want to be appreciated, and I want to be valued too. And I know it ain't the man thing to say, but that manhood, that identity of manhood was beat into me. That ain't what I chose. And I guarantee it's a lot of people around the world that didn't chose this idea of being a man. Love me as a person. Love me as somebody that's there for you. Appreciate me like you want me to appreciate you. Help me. Comfort me. I'm not too much of a man to tell you those are the things I really look for. I'm much more than a provider. I'm a person. And I need love too.
And my question is this the type of man that you would want being around your kids or being around your son, right? Is this the man that you would want being around your son, in the sense that, like, I'm not saying he's a bad person, but what I'm saying is this a man you would want to try to teach your son how to be a masculine man? The reason we were raised as little boys to not cry and not, be in, when we're injured, to suck it up and not to express our feelings and stuff, because women are emotional. You allow women to do that. You allow women to do that. As a little boy, you are trying to raise a warrior. You're trying to raise a man. But once again, we're living in a society where you have people like Ace Metaphor who don't like that, who think it's okay to run around here and cry on a woman's shoulder every single goddamn day and say, well, you know what? I'm not a provider. I'm a human just like you. Bro, you are a man. You are a provider. That is your job. That is your job. Yeah, that is your job. It just sounds like you a feminine ass dude if you're sitting over here being upset because women are looking at you as a provider. That's what you are. You are a provider. As a man, that's what you do. You're supposed to provide. You're supposed to provide for your family. When you get older, when you look at a lot of people, when you look at a lot of fathers who die in the household, right? I'm talking about in families, and they look at the older son and they say, you're the man of the household now. You're the man of the household now. But now we can't even say that anymore, man, because number one, you might be considered a bigot. And then on top of that, hey, well, maybe he doesn't want to be the man of the house. Maybe he wants to be the girl of the house. Maybe he wants to be the princess of the house. Well, when the man goes down, no matter what era you lived in, the man has always taught the sons how to be warriors and to be leaders, right? So if the man goes down, the son will step up. If the man gets old or whatever, the son steps up. He creates his own family. And that's the cycle. But then some woman, I guess, decide to put somebody out like Ace Metaphor, and said, hey, well, you know what, baby, listen, you a man, and I understand you need to tap into your femininity side. You need to tap into your femininity side. You're not a provider. You're a human being just like all these other women. You're a perfect human being just like all these other women. And you need to show that, and you need to express that to the world. Your dad went down, and guess what? Hey, you don't want to be a man in this household? That's fine. We can both work this out because you are my son. Man, no, stop that, bro. Stop that. Raise that little Negro to be a man. That's what we're supposed to do. Raise that little Negro to be a man. I've never seen a man in the 70s or the 60s who cried on a woman's shoulder 24/7, complaining, saying, well, I don't want to be a provider. I want to be a man. I'm a human being just like you. Who just cried and cried and cried and cried about the issues. Men are not supposed to do that. Men are not supposed to do that. And that was part of the process of growing up as a little boy. I was raised around elders. The exact thing that he was sitting over here saying that was being stated as a child, I received that. And I appreciate every bit of that because it helped me become a man today. Which is why I love hanging around elders. I can't hang around little kids because people my age, a lot of these dudes today, they don't know how to be a man. They don't know how to freaking lead. They don't know how to be a man or lead because number one, they're too sensitive. Number two, they were raised around people, man, who didn't know how to guide that person into being a man. Grew up around a bunch of women. So a lot of dudes don't know how to be a man, don't know how to be masculine because they were raised by their mothers or because they were raised around a bunch of people, man, who were just carefree living and didn't live by any morals, didn't have no structure. So you grow up and you're raised a very feminine guy. Like I said, when you look at the Ace Metaphor video, you ain't gonna look at that video and say, well, you know what? I want to raise a lion. I want to raise a warrior. But let me use Ace Metaphor as a person who can guide my son to that. No, I mean you're probably gonna have the most simpiest son you will ever see in a day in your life. Why? Because that dude's gonna be sitting over here so focused on putting women on a pedestal, just like this dude Ace Metaphor. He even said in the video or in an interview with celebrity Daphne that his passion isn't to try to uplift men. It's to uplift women, right? And like I said, I don't have any issue with that, but it becomes an issue when you're trying to pander to women because that's what he does. He panders to women.
And I'm gonna give you that respect, Ace Metaphor. I've looked at your content. And when I go on your Instagram, a lot of your videos, majority of them, you're talking about men, toxic men. So my first question to you, how come I don't see the same energy when it comes to toxic women?
I don't have that passion. That's not my passion nor my experience. So like lives, especially my content that are on my page, is from lives. So I'll do a live like you're doing here on YouTube, and I'll have 500 women watching that live, and they'll ask me questions. So obviously the subject of my reply is a woman, and they're asking me about these relationship issues that they're experiencing. And so I direct it towards that. So when we're talking about women, I don't have men coming on my show asking about women. However, I have a podcast called Tonight's Conversation where we get into those different perspectives and nuances. But for me, I don't have the passion to necessarily quote unquote hold a woman accountable. I let other people do that. You know what I'm saying? But my passion is avoiding toxicity, leaving relationships that are not healthy for you, that's not upbuilding or improving those situations.
Right? He panders to women. Instead of telling women, hey, pick better men, guess what? He's going to sit up here and say, you got these guys who are pookies. You got these guys who love to mess around with other guys. You got these other... And it's like, it makes no sense. You can sit up here, you get upset and say, well, you know what? You got a lot of men who have it out for their best friend. But, you know, hey, guess what? They ain't going to freaking say it. But they're constantly around their best friend all the time. They're constantly around that man all the time. But they don't love him. So they might be men who are in love with guys, but who constantly hang around you. You're just essentially calling them gay. But then you turn around here and you sit up and say there's nothing wrong with a man crying on his shoulder, or crying on a woman's shoulder, or doing this or doing that. A lot of men vent to their boys. They don't vent to the women, because as a man, you're not supposed to. Well, where does it say that in the book? It doesn't say that in the book, but where does it say in the book to cover your mouth when you sneeze? You just know instinctually that you cover your mouth when you sneeze. You just know instinctually, as a man, you're not supposed to be sitting over here crying to your girl. Yes, if you have an issue, yes, go ahead and take care of that with your girlfriend. Oh man, dang girl, you know, it's just been real hard for me for these past 2 years, this and that. But make that be a one-time thing and keep it moving. But this dude, he's over here saying, man, I don't want to be a provider. I'm a human just like you. And it's like, dude, what? Grow up, man. Grow up. Your job is to be a man. Your job is to lead the relationship. So therefore, you don't need to be sitting up here crying about what's going on at your job. You don't need to be sitting over here trying to get your girl to understand every single thing that you got going on at your job. What your woman needs to understand is, hey, my man is out here working. Yes, he has a hard life, but this is why I'm here as a woman, to make sure his life is easier. I'm gonna be the most submissive woman I can be. I'm gonna be the most traditional woman I can be. And then boom, leave it at that. But this man wants you. This man wants more out of the woman than, Jesus, right? So that's just crazy. So now you're gonna have two people in a relationship crying on each other's shoulder. No little boy has ever been raised to do no shit like that. This is why I say Ace Metaphor was raised around a bunch of women, around his mama, been around his mama far too long. So y'all let me know, man. Should y'all police your son, or should y'all just allow your son to wear makeup and, you know, do whatever, but still try your best to make sure he's a leader. I've never out of all the time that I've been alive, out of all the history books that I read, out of all the kings and all the princes or whatever I've seen, I've never witnessed them wear nail polish, makeup, lip gloss, dresses, purses. I've never seen that. But now we're trying to change that narrative and say this is what a real man is. A real man is a man. I mean, you like a lot of these people. Somebody like Ace Metaphor can't even tell you what a real man is, right? A lot of them can't even really tell you what a real man is. They're trying to change what a real man is, which is sad. Y'all do me a huge favor, man. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, leave me a subscribe.